the Project Cybersecurity with Minecraft. Lesson number 6 for first, fourth year students. Software security. Digital hardware and software shape our daily lives quietly but powerfully. They help us study, build projects, safeguard data, and connect with our teams. In this lesson, we will view software not only as a tool, but as a vulnerable ecosystem that must be consciously maintained. It is important to understand that a trustworthy source and regular updates are not a formality, but real protection against unexpected consequences for personal and academic accounts. The lesson is designed as clear, step-by-step guidance through the landscape of software security. Each part will invite not only practical activities, but also brief pauses for reflection, when convenience turns into risk, and how to make responsible choices in study, work, and collaborative project settings. Such guidelines will help form a consistent security practice, which we will later discuss and can incorporate into team agreements. The topic's relevance stems from the fact that programs and their updates change quickly, and errors or security gaps can affect anyone. For students, this means every download and every click has consequences, not only for a single device, but for the university's broader ecosystem, shared drives, communication channels. The lesson will help distinguish reliable, official sources from risky, quick fixes. The tasks are designed so that you can notice symptoms, name risks, and think through safe steps, without technical panic, but with a clear plan of what to do and why. The focus will shift to prevention and organized response, so decisions become predictable and repeatable. Practical activities are oriented toward decision-making. You will be invited to identify risky offers and choose the safest actions, without limiting yourself to technical procedures alone. The activities will encourage you to weigh alternatives, consider consequences, and rely on trustworthy sources when making decisions. In this way, the ability to act calmly, rationally, and responsibly is developed. For lecturers, this lesson offers an opportunity to connect technical aspects with decision logic and community responsibility. You can agree on clear response rules and learn together how to evaluate sources and sharing practices in group projects. The discussions emphasize accountability. More important than hasty action is a critical view of sources and shared agreements on how to act as a community. We will cultivate the understanding that software security arises from everyday practices and rules, not only from isolated technical knowledge. The ultimate goal is to learn to ask the right questions, assess consequences, and choose the path of caution rather than blindly relying on convenience. During learning, we can gather tips that can be applied in the classroom, at home, and in the future. In the lesson, there will be an assignment about a strange downloaded program that turns out to be a computer virus. The scenario will present signs to notice and discuss. While carrying out the tasks, we invite you to consider how to respond safely to such a situation in a university context. In this way, prevention and the habit of caution are emphasized. This topic invites reflection on the fragility of technology and our role in it. The discussion not only reveals threats, but also helps us understand what we can control through everyday decisions. Such a perspective fosters a preventive mindset worth sharing within groups, projects, and at home. Students will be encouraged to analyze how viruses can damage information stored on a computer and in shared university spaces. This will provide an opportunity to understand the scale of risks and why caution is more important than convenience. In the reflection, we suggest thinking about how our actions online can affect not only ourselves, but also others whose data we store or share with. It is also worth discussing how regular updates and security tools help prevent many known threats. Another task will require restoring connectivity and updating the necessary programs. Learning here will involve decision logic and collaboration, not just technical actions. For lecturers, this activity provides an opportunity to encourage reflection on how to systematize incident response steps and how to set priorities. It is important to emphasize that safe response begins with a clear report and seeking help. Students must know whom to contact and how to describe the observed problem precisely. In discussions, we encourage addressing data backups and simple ways to securely preserve important files. In this way, we develop not only technical capability, but also an organized, calm culture of response. Students are also encouraged to think about how to tell whether a program is genuine or may hide a virus. We will encourage discussion of the signs that raise suspicion, why it is worth critically evaluating any download, and how an official source differs from one that looks nice but isn't appropriate. The tasks will also introduce a license inspector scenario and the deletion of old files. Students are invited to reflect on the topic of digital resources. By taking part in the discussion, students can compare different experiences, understand the differences, and together choose what works best in their daily lives. Such a collective process can create a safer environment and reduce risk stemming from individual decisions. The reflection at the end of the lesson can be concrete and effective, not only discussion, but also agreement on one or two simple steps. Such agreements help move ideas from discussion into everyday practice and observe their impact over time. This strengthens both individual and collective responsibility for the security of the digital environment at the university. The project Cybersecurity with Minecraft. A sum of €50,525.18 has been allocated for the project's implementation, funded by the 2021 to 2027 European Union's Digital Europe Programme, €25.26259, and co-financed by the General Financing Funds of the Republic of Lithuania, €25.26259. The lesson package can be downloaded from the specified website.